You're listening to the Cool Audio Podcast, your escape into the world of stories, sounds, and imagination. Whether you're driving, chilling at home, or just need a moment to unplug, we've got a story just for you. So sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Why did you ask this? Melody was surprised. I'm just curious. Then the answer is no. Rory, even without Justin, I'd never accept Lin Hong. First of all, I'd never steal my friend's sweetheart. Second of all, Lin Hong's not my type. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to hurt you. Now that you know it, I want to set things straight with you. I hope you don't misunderstand me. Melody was smart and had guessed Rory's meaning from her question, so she told the latter everything. I'm so happy to hear it. I know I can trust you. Rory smiled and totally let go of her suspicion. Then they went back to their dorm. At South Hill Manor, Chloe had been uneasy ever since she returned from her mother's home. Jack worked late and came home fatigued after the kids were asleep. Honey, you're still not in bed. The moment he went upstairs, he saw Chloe standing at the entrance of their bedroom in her sleeping gown. It's still early. I can't sleep. You can't sleep because you're still excited about Thomas's marriage registration? Jack chuckled as he took off his suit jacket. How did you know that? Did you see the posts in Thomas and Stella's Moments? Chloe asked. I didn't need to. Thomas called me and asked for a honeymoon leave. Great, sir. Did you grant him the leave? He's my brother-in-law. How could I refuse? I granted the leave and will even pay for all their honeymoon expenses. Honey, you're so good. Full of happiness, Chloe stood on her toes and planted a big kiss on his cheek. I have dust on me. Kiss me after I take a shower. Haha. I won't like to kiss you after the shower. I'll only smell the scent of the shower lotion. Chloe gave him a playful grin. During the 2 weeks when Thomas and Stella are on vacation, you'll be extremely busy in the company, said Chloe. Of course. So, President Dawson, do you want me to give you a hand? You? Forget it. I don't want you to work. It's not the right time. Jack immediately refused his wife's offer. But I feel bored staying at home. I won't be in labor for a while. Maybe I'll go and work in a private hospital? Are you blackmailing me? Kind of. So, Mr. Dawson, do you submit to my blackmail? Do I have a choice? Jack looked resigned. Chloe knew him so well that she had never failed when she tried to blackmail him. Oh, honey, I want you to investigate something for me. What is it? Chloe told him how Thomas saw Uncle James at a crossing during the day. Hearing her words, Jack fell silent. Honey, don't you think it's weird? You want me to ask Noah to pull out the surveillance clips and see if that person is indeed? He can't be Uncle James. There's no doubt that Uncle James is dead. My mom saw the body and I saw him get buried. I'll call Noah now and ask him to pull out the surveillance clips. I want to see if the dead came back to life or if someone is trying to mess with us. Like Chloe, Jack knew it didn't bode well to see a man who had died long ago suddenly appear on the street. Thomas was gullible, but Chloe and Jack were not stupid. Meanwhile, on an island off Australia, Fiona was having fun while driving a speedboat on the sea. After making a big circle, she pulled it to the beach and jumped out. Boss, more and more people are looking for you. They all say the woman named Elsie is in your hands. Her father is somewhat powerful and is asking many forces to search for you. In my hands? I'm a picky person. Do you think I'd catch a woman like her? What do I need her for? To eat in hot pot? Fiona glared at them and cursed. I guess someone had spread the rumor purposefully. I, Fiona, won't take the blame. Damn it. Go and find who took the woman. Yes, I'll do it immediately. Fiona was furious. She had finally got a few free days to relax on the island, but was disturbed by this BS. It seemed she was destined to work around the clock. In South Hill Manor. Honey, what did Noah say? He said, he can't find anything. He can't find it? Or someone messed with the surveillance clip? I don't know. Anyway, he checked all the surveillance camera clips around the place and time you mentioned, but didn't see the person Thomas described. Thomas never lies, especially about Uncle James. He'd never do such a thing, Fiona said in conviction. She trusted her brother completely on this. I know. Thomas must have seen him. But this guy doesn't want people to find him in surveillance cameras, so it's very weird. Jack analyzed the issue and felt it didn't bode well. If it was in the past, I might have felt incredulous. But after I saw Fiona use human skin masks, I don't think it's weird. Hearing her words, Jack guessed her thoughts. You suspect the guy used a human skin mask? It's possible. Technology develops very fast. Not to mention human skin masks, they could even make someone resemble Uncle James through plastic surgery. It would be even more creepy. Why does someone want to make himself resemble a dead guy? Jack frowned and tightened his arm around Chloe. In this way, he could get close to Thomas, my mom, and me. Honey, I won't let anyone hurt you and our children. Ever. Jack knew Chloe suspected these people's target was her because Thomas and her mom were useless to them. The truth was that those guys were indeed doing this to get Chloe. She was very valuable now as the daughter of the famous professor and the elder sister of Fiona, the ferocious devil. Many people wanted her just because of her identity. Honey, I'll be fine. I'll protect myself and won't make you worry. To soothe Jack, she leaned back on his chest docilely. She truly didn't want Jack to suffer from insomnia again because of her. She didn't want to experience the pain of living away from him when he was in the States for 4 years again. It was midnight in a nightclub in the city. It was a birthday party of a second-generation rich girl. Many people came to celebrate it, including Zuri and Gavin. Everyone was happy and played until 1 o'clock in the early morning. Zuri was tipsy when she stood up on her unsteady legs. Zuri, where are you going? Gavin followed her closely. I'll call my chauffeur to come and drive me home. I'm sleepy. It's still early. Stay a little longer. No, you guys go on with the fun. Zuri pushed his hand away indifferently and walked toward the corridor. While she walked, she took out her cell phone to call her chauffeur. At this moment, Gavin took out a white handkerchief and raised it to Zuri's face. You have ketchup on your face. I'll wipe it off for you, Gavin said with a smirk. Zuri was about to refuse when she smelled a weird scent. Then she lost consciousness and fell into Gavin's arms. Wow, that Bach Brenny is very good. This thing is quite strong. I'll get some more from her for future use. It was a great tool to pick up girls with. Gavin hadn't believed Brenny and only did it as an experiment. To his surprise, Zuri passed out immediately after the smell hit her. He supported Zuri with his arm around her and walked out. Young master? Why, you're leaving so early? Yeah, I've got to go. On his way out, many people called out to him, but he didn't stop. Walking out of the building, he put Zuri on the passenger seat and pulled the seatbelt around her. Then he drove to the hotel nearest to the nightclub. One of the chain hotels newly developed by GK, Purple Golden Flower, was a low-key, luxurious 5-star hotel. Due to its luxurious renovation and good location, it had received great reviews after it was opened 3 months ago. Gavin walked Zuri into the foyer on unsteady legs. Give me a suite. My girlfriend is drunk. Gavin tossed his ID on the counter. The receptionist was used to the scenes of second-generation rich guys getting a hotel room with girls, so he checked them in immediately. Taking the room card, Gavin took Zuri to an elevator and rode up to his floor. At this moment, his phone rang. Young Master Y, how did it go? You got her? Brenny's voice came to his ears. Give me 1 hour to enjoy myself, then you can bring those people in. Good. Mr. Y, enjoy yourself. Brenny put down her phone with a sinister smile on her lips. Meanwhile, in his villa, Case had just finished reading some documents he brought from the company and was about to go to bed. Then, his snap beeped. He saw it was a client who was close to him. President Chase, is your ex with that young guy from the Y family? No. What's going on? Case was puzzled. Oh, I see. The client sounded evasive. What's wrong? What happened? Case knew his client wouldn't call him on Snap at midnight just to gossip. President Chase, I don't know if I should tell you this. What is it? Case's eyelid jumped suddenly. I'm staying in Purple Golden Flower. When I came back from a night meal a moment ago, I saw your ex in the lobby. Oh, I should call her Miss Blake. Anyway, she went into a room with that fellow. Went into a room? Impossible. He knew Gavin was pursuing Zuri, but Zuri felt nothing for that fellow. It's true. I saw it a minute ago. They are your ex and the guy from the Y family. Okay, thank you for telling me this. Putting down his phone, Case hurried downstairs and raced to Purple Golden Flower in his car. Gavin was smug when he saw Zuri was still unconscious after being drugged. After he sleeps with her, and with the scheme that Brenny had prepared, Zuri would have no choice but to be with him, no matter how unwilling she was. Entering the room, he put Zuri on the big bed and went into the bathroom to take a shower. He came out in a bathrobe and bent to kiss Zuri, but the doorbell rang suddenly. It sounded very urgent. "Who is it?" Gavin yelled in resentment. Gavin was very displeased to be interrupted, but the doorbell kept ringing and he couldn't just ignore it. Reluctantly, he got up, pulled on a white bathrobe, and walked to the door. When he pulled open the door, he was met with a fist with vicious force. "Ah!" With a scream, Gavin fell to the red carpet. Case strode up and punched him. Case's fighting skills were quite good. After all, the boys from the super-rich families had all learnt some kung fu when they were young, since their parents were afraid that they'd get kidnapped. Guys like Max, Brenton, and Case could easily fall 7 to 8 guys. However, Gavin visited nightclubs each night and had totally forgotten these self-defense skills, so he could do nothing but be pummeled. No one knew how many seconds it took Case to race to the hotel, demand answers from the receptionist, and then race up to the room. He looked like a wild beast. He had never imagined that Gavin would discard his pretense of a gentleman and do such a despicable thing as drugging Zuri. The moment he heard the news from his client, he lost his mind. 5 minutes later, Gavin lay on the floor covered in blood. He couldn't get up, not to mention speak. If he could take a selfie with his cell phone, he would see only a pig head in it. After he vented his anger, Case ordered the security guards of the hotel, "Drag him out and get him to hospital now, or he'd lie in bed for the rest of his life." Case said the words without any emotion. There was an ultimate coldness on his face. If not restricted by the law, he would have stabbed the despicable BS 20 times. Scared, the security guard dragged Gavin out and delivered him to hospital. Case calmed down and walked over to look at Zuri on the bed. She looked as if she was sleeping, peaceful and beautiful. Case washed his hands and touched Zuri's face gently. Instantly, warmth spread all over him. "Zuri, I'm happy that I came just in time," he whispered in her ear. He stayed in the suite to take care of Zuri and even got his personal doctor to check on her. The doctor said hesitantly that Miss Blake was fine. The drug wasn't harmful to her health, and she'd wake up after the effects of the drug passed. Before he left, the doctor whispered something in Case's ear. "President Chase, the drug contains some aphrodisiac, so—" Case's face turned cold instantly. Gavin, that BS. He deserved to die for his despicable act. Only a scumbag would drug someone for this kind of motive. "What can I do?" Case asked seriously. "President Chase, we're adults," the doctor said subtly. "If I don't do it, is there another way to get the drug out of her?" "Yes. You can put her head in cold water and wake her up, but it's cold and Miss Blake might catch a cold in this way." "Got it. You can go now." Dismissing the doctor, Case sat on the bed in indecision. He could appease her desire with sex, but it wasn't right to do it with her while she was unconscious. Or he could soak her in cold water, but she might catch a cold. Biting his lip, Case looked at the unconscious Zuri and finally reached a decision. He stood up slowly. When Brenny barged into the room with reporters, they saw Zuri lying on Case's chest. He pulled the covering tightly around her. The door had been locked, and no one could enter except those with a room card. Seeing Brenny unlock the door easily and barge in with so many reporters, Case understood instantly. He became even more furious after knowing that Brenny was part of the scheme against Zuri. Brenny had sent a text message to Gavin, but didn't receive a reply. She had thought the fellow was so engrossed in enjoying himself that he had no time to reply to her. So she acted according to her original plan and came to their room with many reporters. In this way, she'd exposed the whole thing to the media to force Zuri to marry Gavin. The Blake family was a well-known rich family in the city and couldn't bear to have scandals attached to their name. If they found their daughter spent a night in a hotel with the youngest son of the Y family, a wedding was inevitable. When Brenny came up with this idea, Gavin had felt it was a bit despicable at first, but then he decided he'd use this method so long as it could help him marry Zuri. Brenny had thought her plan was impeccable. She brought reporters into the room to take pictures because she wanted to see the horror, confusion, fear, and regret on Zuri's face. She knew Zuri hated her and she wanted the latter to hate her even more, but her plan fell apart when Case appeared. When Brenny barged in, her first reaction was, "How come it's you? Why are you here?" Her face turned deathly white. The reporters behind her didn't know it. They had followed Brenny here because she claimed she had some big house scandal for them. To their surprise, there was indeed a big scandal. One reporter even commented while he filmed the video, "It's big news that Mr. Chase and Miss Blake have truly gotten back together. I think many fans will be happy to hear it." "I asked you, why are you here?" Like a madwoman, Brenny dashed over and demanded, "Why can't I be here?" Case looked calmer than her. "Where's Gavin?" Brenny hissed out the words from her clenched teeth in a low voice. "Ridiculous. How could I know where Gavin is?" "Case, what on earth did you do?" "Brenny, I want to ask you what you and Gavin wanted to do to Zuri." Case's eyes looked very chilly with intense hatred in them. Brenny couldn't answer. While she was stunned, more reporters rushed in and took pictures. 30 minutes later, the thing went public. The news that Case and Zuri spent the night in the Purple Golden Flower Hotel spread all over the city. To keep order, the hotel drove out the reporters and Brenny. Inside the suite, Case held a feverish Zuri and placed a cooling patch on her forehead gently. "Cold. I'm so cold." Zuri hadn't woken up. She just felt cold subconsciously. She felt she was in a dream in which she was walking through a desert and felt extremely hot. Then she fell into an ice hole and shivered in the cold. After some internal debate, Case had put Zuri in the bathtub and soaked her in cold water. When the effects of the drug wore off, he took off his clothes and held her in his arms to keep her warm. He hadn't expected that Brenny would come with reporters to catch them in bed. The situation went out of control. When the Blake family got the news, they were furious. Brenton even smashed an invaluable vase in the living room. "Honey, calm down," Victoria tried to soothe him. "Where are they? Still in the hotel?" Brenton was usually gentle and polite and seldom lost his temper, but he'd get violent whenever his younger sister was in trouble. "Sir, young madam is still at the hotel." Rubbing his temples, Brenton grabbed his coat and walked to the door. "Honey, it's too early. Wait until daybreak." Victoria looked at the clock and saw it was only 3:40 in the morning. "It's fine. Honey, I'll be back soon. You take care of our son." "Honey, don't yell at them, or you will scare Zuri." Worried, Victoria instructed him. "I know. Don't fight, okay?" "Okay." Brenton reached out gently and touched her face. Then he walked out with his men and went straight to the hotel in a fit of fury. Case had kept changing towels on Zuri's forehead to cool her down. He finally relaxed when she felt less hot under his hand. Zuri woke up groggily. "Thirsty. Water. Want water." Case got up immediately and brought her the warm water he had prepared. Zuri gulped down a big glass of water before she opened her eyes slowly. "Big brother Chase." She was surprised to see Case. "You're okay now. Your fever is finally gone." "How come I'm here?" Zuri sounded listless. But when she saw it was Case who was with her, she relaxed because she trusted him. "It's a long story." Case didn't know how to explain. "I remember I was tipsy and wanted to go home. I was about to call my chauffeur when Gavin came after me. I don't remember the rest." Zuri felt dizzy and didn't know what had happened. Patiently, Case told her everything. Zuri was astonished. "He drugged me." Zuri was enraged. After hearing Chloe's words in the yacht, she had had a feeling that Gavin was colluding with Brenny to ruin her relationship with Case, so she had ignored him ever since. She refused his dinner invitations and didn't reply to his Snap messages. But today, she bumped into him at a common friend's birthday party, and then he took the opportunity to drug her. "I didn't know he was such a beast." "Big brother Chase, I'm sorry to drag you into my trouble." Dejected to find herself in this situation, Zuri had tears in her eyes. She looked pitiable. Case was heartbroken to see her like this and pulled the covering more tightly around her. Zuri was wearing a set of white thermal pajamas that Case had asked the hotel to deliver to their room. Both dressed, there was nothing awkward between them. Zuri was grateful that Case had shown up in time to save her from Gavin. "Don't mention it. I'd never forgive myself if anything happened to you." Before Zuri could answer, Brenton barged into the room with bodyguards. "Big brother," Zuri began in a small voice. "Big brother Blake." Case greeted him too. Without a word, Brenton walked over, carried Zuri from the bed, and handed her to the bodyguard standing next to him. "You guys take her back." Then Brenton grabbed Case's collar and punched him. "Case, you had the nerve to scheme against Zuri and drag the Blake family down the water just to save your family business. Are you still a man?" Brenton demanded fiercely. "Second brother Blake, you misunderstood me. I don't want to hear your explanation. Stay away from my sister. Don't think you can manipulate me with this despicable method. Our Blake family would rather take the scandal than let her marry a scumbag like you." Tossing vicious words at Case, Brenton stomped out. Case didn't blame Brenton because he understood why Brenton disliked him. Then Case left the hotel too, ending the drama officially. On his way home, he called the hospital and was told that Gavin had 4 broken ribs and a swollen face. He'd need a long while to recover. After that fellow recovered, there would be a vicious war since he had officially made the Y family his enemies. After all, Gavin was a favorite of his family. But for Case, it was worth it so long as Zuri was not hurt. On their way back home, Zuri explained the whole thing to her second elder brother. After hearing the whole story, Brenton only said, "Gavin is a BS and tried to hurt you by working together with Brenny. But who started all this? Why does Brenny target you? She does it because she hates Case. Zuri, wake up from your dream or you'd get hurt. Big brother, Case saved me, or that BS Gavin would have..." With Brenton's coat draped around her shoulders, Zuri sat in the Audi A8 with her head lowered and defended Case. "He owes you too much to be forgiven by one rescue. Do you understand? The Chase family needs money now. How do you know his rescue isn't a scheme? Zuri, you've been hurt by him many times, and you still didn't learn your lesson? In our circle, there's no true love. There's only exchange of interests." "Brother, I don't agree. Didn't you and my sister-in-law marry for love? How about Dr. Green and President Dawson?" "We're exceptions. Zuri, we went through a lot together. But did you?" Brenton tried to convince his sister to give up Case, but obviously Zuri still loved him. In the end, the brother and sister stopped talking about the topic. Meanwhile, Brenny was burning with rage that her scheme failed, and Case got all the benefits of it. On the next day, when the news got out, everyone guessed the Chase family and the Blake family would reconcile with each other. Miraculously, the stock prices of the 2 companies began to rise sharply. Even Pudding, who didn't care about rumors, got intrigued. Before breakfast, she sent a message to Kenneth. "Pudding, are you there?" Kenneth, "Yeah." Pudding, "The thing about your auntie." Kenneth, "I'm not sure what happened. My dad lost his temper and my mom and I didn't dare to ask him yet." Pudding, "I plan to buy your family's and the Chase family's stocks. I have a feeling that their prices will soar." Pudding, "Don't you want to buy some too?" Kenneth, "Forget it. I'm not in the mood. The 3 of us are going to my grandma's in a little while. Now that my auntie got in such a big trouble, I'm sure there's a family meeting waiting for us." Pudding, "Keep me updated. If there are rumors of a wedding, I think the stocks will hit a limit up circuit breaker." Kenneth, "Pudding, stocks seem very important to you." Pudding, "Seriously? Are you jealous?" Kenneth, "I only feel that you care more about the stocks than you care about me. Little Bean wouldn't treat Ethan in this way." The young master of the Blake family was full of resentment, as if someone owed him tons of money. However, Pudding was ruthless to him with her reply. Pudding, "If Little Bean is so good, then you can pursue her." The answer was made so grandly. "Yeah, our little Pudding," replied to Kenneth very grandly. Rendered speechless, Kenneth ended the awkward conversation. Putting away his cell phone silently, he threw himself into Dr. Victoria's arms with self-pity. Chloe was astonished when she got up and read the viral news. It seemed a big thing had happened while she was asleep. Of course, the news article didn't give the details or mention the person who started all this, Brenny. But Chloe was smart. She understood the whole thing when she pieced together this news and the fact that Gavin was wounded seriously and sent to the hospital last night. "What's your plan for today?" At breakfast, Jack asked Chloe. "I'll get a prenatal check done today." "Where do you want to have the check?" "The first hospital is closer, but I miss Southside. I want to go back to Southside to have the check." "Fine, I'll go with you." "Aren't you busy today?" "I'll go to the company after the check." "You don't have to go with me, honey. I have bodyguards." Chloe didn't want to add more burden to Jack's already tight schedule. "I'll be worried." Jack was worried about her safety if she returned to Southside. "Fine, come with me." After breakfast, Chloe returned to Southside in Jack's company and learnt that her assistant Violet had resigned. Violet had consulted with Chloe about her resignation, but Chloe didn't agree because she didn't want her friends to be affected by her problem. However, Violet still resigned. "Vice Director, the baby is healthy. Remember to come for the next check." The director of the OB/GYN department liked Chloe and still called her Vice Director. "I'm no longer the Vice Director. Please don't call me that. I'll come for the next check on time. Thank you, guys." Chloe didn't use her privileges in Southside and went through the normal procedure for her check, including registration, waiting in line, and paying the fees. Coming out of the hospital, she took out her cell phone and sent a message to Violet. "Violet, you resigned?" "Yeah." "Why didn't you tell me?" "You need your rest in your condition. Don't worry about the trivial things about us." "You've acted weirdly lately. What are you and Cody busy about?" "I'll tell you when I see you. Sister Chloe, I've got to go." After a few words, the conversation ended. Chloe mumbled something and Jack didn't answer. Then, they went to the GK headquarters. Meanwhile, Brenton was in a lousy mood after having a big fight with his sister at home. Instead of going to the company, he went to Justin's home to have a drink. Max and Avery were still in bed when his call came. Then, Avery drove back to South Hill Manor to get a free meal, while Max went directly to Justin's house without even washing his face. Justin's house looked cold and empty when they came. Justin had just gotten up from bed. "You can't go on like this without a woman. The house feels cold. Mr. Cooper, maybe. You can keep a husky. It will lighten up your mood." "I think you look like a husky." Justin glanced at Max coolly. "You? What's wrong? You look as if someone died." Justin noticed Brenton had been sullen ever since he walked through the door. "Didn't you watch the news?" The nosy Max smirked. "I did. Is it about the thing with Case?" Justin sounded calm. "You're calm because he didn't sleep with your sister." Brenton stared at Justin in displeasure. "Damn it. How can you say that? Am I that kind of guy?" Justin was exasperated. "Masters, aren't you hungry? It's been forever since the last time you came here so early in the morning." "I'm starving. Avery went to South Hill Manor for breakfast. I've eaten nothing yet. Do you have food?" Max went to the fridge to help himself, but found nothing in it. "Mr. Cooper, you can dump your fridge. You don't use it anyway." "I'm too lazy to buy food. It never came to my mind anyway." "And can you cook? Would you make something for us?" N found it was a difficult task for him. "Don't make it difficult for you go and buy us something to eat. I'm starving." Justin took out his wallet and tossed it toward Anne, sending Anne out of the house without telling him what food to buy. In this northern city, it was getting colder each day, especially in the morning and night. Justin turned on the Scandinavian-style fireplace in the living room, and the three guys sat before it to get warm. "Old Blake, calm down first. I think you can't blame Case this time. If that Y fellow got his hands on your sister, you'd be in a difficult situation about their marriage. After all, if the photos of them being together were published, it would be a great shame on your family, but you'd hate to marry your sister to him because you all know he tricked you. Besides, I think your sister doesn't like the second son of the Y family." Justin got to the point of the whole thing. "I'd never allow my sister to be hurt again." "How do you know she'd be hurt? They love each other. You're the evil guy who is trying to break up the lovebirds." Max glanced at Brenton. "I don't want to talk about Case's character, but Brenny left a little batch in his home. Even if Brenny was dead, that kid would still be a hot potato. My sister can't have a peaceful life with him like this." "You're right." Justin nodded his agreement. I have an idea. Max was struck by a thought. Justin and Brenton looked at him at the same time. Let's hire someone to get rid of Brenny and her kid, removing all the trouble from the root. We are not so desperate as to kill them. Even if they must be removed, it's not our job. After all, she's not our enemy. If it must be done, Case is the one who should do it, said Justin. But with his personality, he can't do it. He's as soft-hearted as a woman, commented Max. Justin and Max were Brenton's longtime friends, and they spoke Brenton's mind. In fact, he objected to his sister being with Case not completely because of the past events. He was worried about their future. He didn't think Case could bring Zuri peace and happiness in the long run. So, even though he knew they loved each other, he wanted to break them up. Due to the exposure of last night's incident, Case didn't go to the company, but returned home instead. After the housemaid made breakfast, Case came out to eat. Tierney sat next to him and looked at him as if she wanted to say something. Uncle Chase. Yeah? Will you marry Auntie Zuri? Case paused because he didn't know what to say. That woman won't allow you two to be together. She'll make trouble for you. Tierney seemed to be referring to Brenny. Case didn't speak. Uncle Chase, don't you have a friend in the Municipal Public Security Bureau? I think you should ask the police to catch that woman and keep her imprisoned for the rest of her life. Only in this way can we have a peaceful life, and you can be with Auntie Zuri. Case's hand holding the milk glass trembled slightly. Was the little girl of 6 years old urging him to imprison her own mother? Seeing the change in Case's expression, Tierney corrected herself immediately. Uncle Chase, are you thinking I'm cold-hearted? But I can't help it. For a long time, that woman has not been herself. When I visited her, she almost strangled me. She's no longer the mother who was good to me. She's a devil now. She has indeed changed into another person. Remembering what Brenny had done, Case sighed. So, you can't be soft with her. It's the only way that you and Aunt Zuri can be together. Tierney said the words with clear eyes. But Case had a feeling that Tierney had something hidden behind this veneer. But on second thought, she was only a 6-year-old kid. How could she be so deep? Yeah, this time I won't forgive her. Case seemed to have reached a decision about Brenny. Meanwhile, the scandal about the Blake and Chase families was still the hot topic in the city. Chloe and Jack had gone to work in the headquarters. After she lost her job, Chloe got lots of free time and enjoyed herself with food and her husband's company. Jack brought her with him almost everywhere, and even took her to meetings. At noon, Chloe was sitting on the sofa in Jack's office and reading a book she had found on his bookshelf. The book was quite popular right now, Enneagram of Personality. Her cell phone rang. It was a phone call, not a snap call. Hello? Oh, okay. I'm in the company. You guys can come here. Hanging up, Chloe glanced at Jack, who was handling papers. Honey, Cody, and Violet will come here in a moment. Something's up? Jack asked, because Cody and Violet had never come to the headquarters. They met Chloe either at home or in a restaurant. Violet didn't say, but she sounded like she had something to tell me. Fine. I'll let them come here in the office when they arrive. Jack thought Cody was bored with his retired life and wanted to try his hand in business, so he came here and asked for their advice. But Jack was wrong this time. 20 minutes later, Cody drove a low-profiled Lexus to GK headquarters. Wearing sunglasses, he walked in holding Violet's hand lovingly. Wow, that guy seems to be Cody. Yeah, even though he's wearing sunglasses, I can still recognize him. I used to be his fan for years. Some receptionists at the counter whispered among themselves. Jack's assistant, Little Mark, ushered them into the office on the top floor and brought in 3 cups of coffee and a mug of warm milk. Yeah, the warm milk was for the pregnant woman. It's a rare occasion that you two come here. Sit down. Chloe was happy to see them. Jack put down his work and sat with them. Sis, brother-in-law, we came to tell you something. Cody took off his sunglasses and said formally, I know, or you'd never come and see me in the company. With the mug of milk in her hand, Chloe chuckled. But Violet and Cody looked solemn, which was quite unusual. What's wrong? Something happened? Jack thought they wanted to ask for a loan or the purchase of private company shares, etc., and were embarrassed to voice it. Yeah, but I don't know how to begin. Cody lowered his head in guilt. Let me do it. Violet inhaled deeply and placed her hand on Cody's. What's wrong with you two? Speak whatever is on your mind. Why are you so hesitant with me today? Chloe noticed how weirdly they acted today. Sister Chloe, Violet paused and couldn't continue. Mustering his courage, Cody continued. Sis, we'll immigrate to another country. Immigrate? Chloe was caught by surprise, but Jack looked calm. Cody nodded. Yeah, sis, we've been wanting to move to another country for a long time now, but we don't want to leave you. You've done so much for us, and we want to stay by your side forever. But now that you no longer work in the hospital and Violet resigned, we've begun to think about emigration once again. Violet explained. Sister Chloe, you know Cody's family situation is very special. Nico and their mother used to have a hard life. Even though they have money now, there are still rumors bothering us, especially Nico. He's always mocked in school. We've been thinking of leaving for a long time. After his retirement, Cody is still being stalked and harassed by fans when he goes out shopping or eating. So, we want to move to another place and start a new life. This is great news. Are you guys dumb or something? There's nothing embarrassing about it. Chloe was surprised by their decision to emigrate, but felt happy for them too. We just don't want to leave you. Now that you're pregnant, I want to stay by your side and take care of you. Violet almost wept. Without Chloe, Violet wouldn't be able to achieve so much. In the years when she was Chloe's assistant, she got lots of professional guidance from Chloe and married Cody, getting a happy family. What are you talking about? It's a good thing that you are moving to another country. It's not like we'll never see each other again. Your brother-in-law and I always travel abroad anyway. Which country do you want to emigrate to? Violet and Cody exchanged a look and said, Denmark. Great. People in Denmark have the highest satisfaction about their life, a country of fairy tales. Excellent choice. Has your application been approved? I have clients in Denmark and can help you. Jack, who had been silent, offered. Everything is done. Brother-in-law, with my previous identity of a singer and the large fortune I've accumulated, the application was approved quite swiftly. My mom, younger brother, Violet, and I will go together. We entrusted an agent here to sell our house and cars for us. Excellent. You've made a good choice. Chloe patted Cody on the shoulder with a chuckle. Sis, I'm sorry that I'm leaving you. Cody felt guilty to Chloe. He regarded her as his elder sister and had planned to stay by her side forever. Nonsense. I have your brother-in-law and a big family to take care of me. You two don't need to worry about me. After the baby is born, your brother-in-law and I will take a few days off and visit you in Denmark. We'll treat it as a vacation. Good. Hearing Chloe's generous blessing, Violet and Cody were touched. Let's have lunch together. Checking his watch, Jack offered. Okay, it's on us, Cody said immediately. Sister Chloe, you don't plan to work in a hospital again after the baby is born? Can you truly give up being a doctor? Having worked under Chloe for years, Violet knew very well how much Chloe loved her work as a doctor. Hearing this question, Chloe lowered her head but didn't speak. Jack slanted a glance at his wife and his heart ached for her. Chloe didn't know how to answer Violet's question. Yeah. Will she go back to be a doctor? His heart aching for his wife, Jack put a hand on her shoulder. After the baby is born, Chloe can go back to the hospital if she wants to keep working. If she can't return to Southside, she can work in the first hospital. If she can't go to the first hospital, we can open a private hospital for her. Ha, my brother-in-law is indeed grand, Cody laughed, lightening the mood. Chloe looked at Mr. Dawson with happiness on her face and was almost moved to tears by the love exuding from her overbearing husband. Opening her own private hospital. Why didn't she think of that? Then the four of them went to have lunch. In the afternoon, Case was summoned to the old house for interrogation. The seniors of the family were furious about the scandal and wanted to demand answers from him. After coming back from abroad, Tiani hadn't gone to school with the excuse that she didn't feel well. She had been resting in Case's house. When Brenny came to the house again, the the housemaid didn't dare to say anything. "You go out and buy groceries." Tiani looked at the housemaid coldly. "Miss Tiani, can you manage it all by yourself?" "I'll be fine. She's my mother and won't do anything to me." Tiani was very calm and didn't look like a 6-year-old kid. Seeing the gangsters with tattoos standing behind Brenny, the housemaid didn't dare to say anything. She fled with a grocery bag. Tiani glanced at Brenny and said, "Make them wait outside. I want to talk to you." "You guys wait for me outside." Brenny sent the brawny guys out of the door. Only Tiani and her mother Brenny were left in the big house. "Tiani," Brenny began, but Tiani raised her hand to stop her. Then she took out her cell phone and activated something. After 3 beeps, Tiani said, "Okay, you can speak now." "What did you do?" Brenny was puzzled. "I just checked if he planted bugs in the house." Tiani referred to Case. "That's impossible." Brenny looked incredulous. "Of course it's possible. When I was in Singapore, many of the neighbors planted bugs in their houses, but I'm smart and bought an anti-surveillance device on my cell phone." "Does Case know about it?" "Are you stupid? How can I let him know? I bought it because I was afraid that he'd monitor me." Tiani looked at Brenny mockingly. "Are you still my daughter?" Brenny thought the girl was cold to her last time because they hadn't seen each other for a long time. She intended to have a long talk with her daughter and be nicer to her. But the girl seemed very different from before. "Of course not. Who'd like to have you as a mother?" Tiani sneered. "Tiani, I know you hate me. I did wrong when I was in the psychiatric center, but at that time I wasn't myself." Brenny thought her daughter hated her for what happened in the psychiatric center and tried to explain. "Don't try to make me pity you. Brenny, I'm no longer a child you can manipulate at your will. If you want to die, go ahead, but don't bring me with you. I don't want to die yet." "What BS are you talking about? Do you know whom you're talking to?" Brenny was furious at Tiani's disrespectful words. "Of course I do. If not for you, I wouldn't have ended up in this pathetic state. Why didn't you continue your happy life with Uncle Chase? Just like your stupid mother, you squandered all of your good cards. How could you say that about your grandma?" Brenny's eyes widened in disbelief. "Grandma? Did she deserve to be my grandma? If that old demonic woman didn't come back and kidnap Aunt Chloe's twins, would we have ended up in this mess? Instead of waking up from your stupidity, you took the so-called road of revenge. I'm disappointed in you. Anyway, the Green family's genes are not good and gave you a low IQ. But I'm not you and won't follow your footsteps. Forget it if you want to take me with you. I won't leave the Chase family, or more accurately, Case." "Are you really, Tiani?" If Brenny hadn't heard the words with her own ears, she'd never have believed that they came from her own daughter. Even an adult couldn't have spoken such words. This kid behaved so coldly to her dead grandma and her mother, the only family she had. What had happened? "Of course I don't want to be your Tiani. You may accuse me of loving luxurious life as the junior mistress here, but I don't care. I'm having a good life. Case is good to me and provides everything to me. I don't want to leave. I don't want to end up like you, an ungrateful batch. I'll stay here. You can go now. Oh, by the way, if you value your life, you'd better leave this city as soon as possible and never come back. I think your attack on Zuri violated Case's bottom line. He might not let you get away with it." That said, Tiani turned and went upstairs. "Tiani." "Don't call me Tiani. I'm not her. From now on, my name is Cindy Chase, Case's adopted daughter." Brenny stood there in astonishment. She had never imagined that her daughter would speak to her in this way. The kid had cut off relations with her and even decided to take Case's family name. Did Case teach her to do this? At this thought, Brenny became even more furious. After drinking with Max and Brenton, Justin, a little tipsy, went to his company in the afternoon. He had never seen Brenton feel so low before. Victoria drove to Justin's house and took the pickled Brenton home. Justin had wanted to call Avery and ask her to pick up Max, but the latter stopped him, fearing Avery would give him an earful for getting drunk. Finally, Justin had him drive Max to his villa to sleep. Justin was picked up by the company's chauffeur and went to Imperial Star. The moment he walked into the building, he heard the following gossip. Did you know that the rumors on the internet say Melody is President Cooper's mistress? Oh, no wonder President Cooper favors her so much and gave her this opportunity. Melody is quite pretty. I think President Cooper has good taste in women. How long do you think it will take before Justin gets tired of her? The girl is very lucky and made such a smashing hit so soon. Some female employees were gossiping among themselves with great enjoyment. Melody was just walking downstairs after her dance practice and heard every word they said. "Hey, stop talking. She's here." Everyone looked at Melody with a weird look in their eyes. Then Justin walked up and said to Melody in a loud voice in front of the gossiping employees, "I'm here to pick you up for dinner, President Cooper's mistress." Ahem. Melody coughed so hard that she almost choked. How could her boss mock himself like this? The female employees looked embarrassed and hurried to greet Justin. "Hi, President Cooper." "Hello, President Cooper." Justin ignored them and looked at Melody, saying, "Let's go." "Where?" "Let's go get a room in a hotel," Justin said loudly. Melody went into another coughing fit. She snapped back to her senses when they sat down in a restaurant. "It's just supper. Why did you spread rumors about yourself?" "For the people who love to gossip, they wouldn't believe me if I denied the rumors. They would continue creating stories. So the best way to deal with them is—" "Admitting it?" Melody asked with uncertainty. "Yeah." "No kidding. There's nothing between us." "Right. Do you want something to happen between us?" Justin teased her. "Not at all. Boss, please don't scare me. I'm from an ordinary family and have a faint heart." "Okay, let's get to business. How are you doing now?" They were sitting in a coffee house with 2 cups of coffee, a plate of muffins, some snacks, and a pizza. Justin wasn't hungry. He just wanted to ask Melody about her reality show, since the second round was this week. "I'm doing fine. I've been dancing to all kinds of music and trying to find the feeling." "You didn't post the picture on Weibo, right?" Justin asked. "No, my agent is managing the account." "Do you have confidence about this round?" "No." Melody shook her head immediately. "I knew you were a coward." Justin picked up his coffee with a chuckle. Justin looked good when he laughed, with his eyes curving like crescents. Melody felt Justin didn't look like the hot-tempered big boss when he smiled. He looked very comforting. "What are you looking at?" Justin noticed the distracted look on Melody. "No, nothing. Ignore the rumors on the internet. It's common for your competitors to try to trash you. Ignore the gossip in the company too, no matter what they say. After all, this is an entertainment company, and we can't prohibit them from gossiping." Justin was used to these things after being in show business for so many years. "President Cooper, you don't need to comfort me. I don't care for those things." "Really?" Justin was surprised. He had thought she'd be broken easily by such stuff as a new girl in show business. But it seemed Melody was coping with all this quite well. "President Cooper, I know what show business is like. Rumors are inevitable and I'm not afraid of them. God is fair to everyone. You get some and you lose some. Fate gives you every gift with a price tag. I understand it." As she said the words, earnestly holding a mug of hot coffee in her hand, Justin began to see her in a new light. "Very good, little girl. You have a good mindset." Justin smiled and sipped his coffee. "President Cooper?" "Huh?" "I want to ask you something, but I'm embarrassed to say it. I'm afraid you'd refuse me," Melody said hesitantly. "Are you going to say you love me?" Justin asked. "I wouldn't do such a suicidal thing." "President Cooper, I want you to loan some money. Oh no, advance some salary to me." "Advance your salary?" President Cooper touched his nose tip, feeling curious. "Yeah, you can deduct it from my income." "How much do you want? Your character isn't worth much to me, so you'd better not ask too much." Justin said it half-jokingly. In fact, even if Melody asked for $1 million, he wouldn't refuse her. Chloe had talked with him about Melody's character and said she could be trusted. Melody didn't speak. She just raised 5 fingers. $5 million? Justin asked. Melody almost spilled her coffee on the table. "No kidding, boss. I meant $50,000. Not $5 million or $500,000. She asked for only $50,000. $50,000? You ask so little of me? When have I ever loaned someone such a small amount of money? I'll give you $100,000. No, I only need 50,000. No, 50,000 is too little. I'll give you 100,000. It's settled. Justin was overbearing. In his eyes, $100,000 was maybe as little as $100 in an ordinary person's eyes. He felt Melody had wasted one chance of asking money from him by asking for only $50,000, so he gave her $100,000 instead. Fine. Melody thought her boss was a madman who insisted on giving her $100,000 when she asked for $50,000. Don't thank me. I'll have the accounting department deduct it from your salary, said Justin. I know. I wasn't going to thank you anyway. Now tell me why you want to borrow this money, Justin asked. Boss, this is my private business. I'm your employee, but I have the right to keep my personal affairs to myself. No, right now I'm not your boss. From this moment on, I'm your friend Justin. So you must tell me. Justin smiled at her with a sly look on his face. Can you do that? Melody was surprised at his slyness. So, will you tell me, or shall I get Chloe to call you? Please don't. Don't trouble Sister Chloe with this trivial thing. Rory has a friend named Lin Hang. He paid my medical expenses when I was in the hospital, but he's not my relative or friend, so I don't want to owe him. Oh, isn't that guy pursuing you? Justin knew everything about the people around Melody and Rory. Yeah, but I didn't accept him, so I can't use his money. I want to return it to him as soon as possible. If you agree to be his girlfriend, you don't have to return the money, right? Problem solved. Boss, that's a lousy idea. According to your logic, if I was your girlfriend, then I don't need to return the money to you? Melody said the words without thinking, but as soon as the words were out, she blushed. But Justin wasn't ruffled. He only said with a chuckle, Impossible. Even if you were my stepmother, you'd still need to return the money, not to mention my girlfriend. Okay, you win. Melody admitted defeat, thinking the big capitalists were indeed ruthless. Okay, no kidding. Let's get back to our previous topic. Lin Hang is Rory's friend, the mechanic, right? Melody was about to reply when her cell phone beeped with a message. Opening it, she saw only the words, What are you doing? Thanks for tuning in to the Cool Audio Podcast. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow story lover. Until next time, stay cool and keep listening.